another edition of the Ecosystem Report. How are you?
Certainly are, Gary. I'm good. How are you?
It doesn't feel like a year. I think it's just under a year. But we're launching our report again, the second
Yes,
Ecosystem Report next week.
we are. We are. It's going to be exciting.
How did the first one go? What were your findings? What were your own sense of coming out the other side?
Well, I think the first one was great, and I think the response that we got from our partners and from the general kind of the general community was really good. It was nice to be able to put some parameters around and try to define what the digital infrastructure ecosystem looks like coming out of Ireland.
Yeah.
And I think we were able to kind of help people understand that there's so much more to data centers than just a building, that there's a whole slew of cohorts and businesses and different types of companies that support a data center.
Hmm.
And it was starting to give people a sense of something that's a little bit bigger than what they may have thought.
Isn't that interesting that again we talk about a lot about you live in a world of words, but pictures and
Yeah.
actual sort of graphs and stuff have helped greatly. And this year we're bigger, 54 partners that we're
Yeah.
representing.
Yeah.
And this whole digital ecosystem or digital infrastructure ecosystem, I think one of the things that maybe some commentators were slightly surprised at last year was the amount of activities going on outside of Ireland
Yes.
for
Yeah.
Irish companies. And I guess the next question is, so to this 2023 edition, which will be launched next week, what can people expect to see? And what other activities, like we have a webinar and stuff to support it. So what have you got lined up?
What have I got lined up? So yeah, no, I think what we were able to do this year is really kind of take the conversation to the next level, because one of the things that we've heard in the conversations that we had in creating last year's report, and it was certainly reiterated this year in the conversations, was that there is something unique about the Irish digital infrastructure ecosystem that you see no matter what data center project you're on anywhere in the world. You see a large Irish contingent, and we really wanted to kind of dig into why is that. What is it that makes the Irish unique? What is it? Why is it that the talent that is developed and has grown out of Ireland? Why is that so coveted in other places around the world? And for some of those folks, there's more permanent moves. Other folks, it's they come in, they do a project, they go back to Ireland, and they take those learnings and do something else and progress and evolve from there. So I think it was really interesting. Had some really great conversations, but we really have had the opportunity to really dig into what is it about the Irish digital ecosystem that is so special and so unique.
We need to make it an easy to remember acronym, because it's tough saying the digital infrastructure ecosystem.
It is. It is.
So
It
from
is.
now on, if we were writing this, it would be DIE, wouldn't it, or something like
That
that?
would be a bad one, though, Gary. That would be bad.
Die.
We
Oh,
don't want
die.
anything to die. We want it to grow, and we want it to thrive. So
This is called a live movie. This is called a
there you
live.
go. There you
So,
go. There we
so
go.
whatever we're going to say, great things you'd expect partially. You're going to have a webinar next week to support
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
launch, which
We have
effectively
Yeah,
is.
so I'll be moderating the conversation. We've got Judith Gardner from Equinix on, and Barry Sullivan from CBRE, and Ailish McDonald from Yonder, and all of them are going to join us, and we're going to kind of just make the words on the page come alive a little bit during the conversation that we have on the webinar next Wednesday at noon Irish time.
That's as good a time and a place to end the chat. And thank you so much for your efforts.
You're welcome.
Glad that you've survived with us for another year. And just to remind people that if you want to get access to the ecosystem report and you want to actually participate in the webinar, just go on to hostinireland.com. You'll see the link there. And Joyce will see you with her panelists all next week. Thank you so much.
Good. Great. Excellent. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Joyce.